Greetings! The end of the week is here, and these past 7 days were full of great news, at least for me. And judging by your reaction, you definitely were just as happy as I was, or maybe even more. Who knows? Let's jump into the fantastic first opening news because this is by far the biggest for me. From 17th of May, we learned that the Witcher TV show is coming to Netflix, and this is confirmed being done by Platige Image or Platige Image. That is right, and even more important is that the author of all of the Witcher books and the whole universe, Andrzej Sapkowski, wow, I always have trouble pronouncing his name. He is actually very thrilled that Netflix will be going to do an adaptation of the stories, and I'm quoting here, staying true to the source material and the themes that I have spent over 30 years writing. I'm excited about our effort together as well as the team assembled to shepherd these characters to life. Pretty much every Witcher fan knows that Sapkowski wasn't exactly very thrilled with the release of the three fantastic, by the way, Witcher games by CD Projekt Red. The most popular rumor is that the reason is because he sold the game, the rights to CG Projekt Red to create game based on his content quite cheaply. And I tend to believe that would be the case because, well, it's all about money in this world. And regardless of how fantastic author he is and how much I love his books, his reaction towards the games everywhere and all the time throughout the years in interviews and articles and such doesn't speak well for him personally. Anyway, if you don't know, the executive producers will be Sean Daniel and Jason Brown. Yep, known names, and we do trust in them. Plus, well, Netflix. They can't screw up, I think. The Witcher stories follow an unconventional family that comes together to fight for truth in a dangerous world. The characters are original, funny, and constantly surprising, and we can't wait to bring them to life at Netflix, the perfect home for innovative storytelling. There is no information official yet. Will this be animated TV series? Because Platige Image is actually animation studio. Because of that, we think it will be animated. There is no confirmation if it will be actually the story of The Witcher according to the books. Will they be following the books just like Game of Thrones is doing? And by the way, everyone is already comparing The Witcher upcoming TV series with Game of Thrones. Will Netflix dethrone the Game of Thrones show with the Witcher TV series? By the way, they are confirmed to be multiple seasons from that upcoming show already. Very exciting news, and as always, more info down below in the description where you guys will be able to find links to absolutely all of the articles and videos that I'm discussing in the Weekly Roundup show. Because we're still on the topic of The Witcher, I would like to show you my brand new Death March build. Some of you have requested it multiple times throughout the Hearts of Stone walkthrough, which I did a couple weeks ago. And I'm still preparing for the damned Blood and Wine walkthrough, but because the story is much longer and I will need more consecutive days to be able to live stream, and I have a personal project coming in my real life, which I don't know yet where I'll have to begin. So I'm postponing this so I can enjoy my walkthrough, my third official walkthrough of The Witcher 3. Well, second actually, but in the first one I showed you both pathways to the ending and all of the endings, of course. So yeah, never mind. That would be, let's call it another. First for me in New Game Plus in Blood and Wine, by the way. This is my guide for how I will be approaching Blood and Wine Death March New Game Plus. This is my build. This is what I use for Geralt, and it's quite overpowered. There are a couple places actually, where I make compromises with the perfect stats for my build, but that is because of appearance. And yep, on the picture you can see that Geralt is wearing the new Grandmaster Bear Skull Ursine, I believe is pronounced correctly, or Ursine. I prefer for simplicity to call it the Bear Skull set because those are words I can pronounce easily. Take a look at the guide if you're Witcher fans. Let me know, have you played a similar guide to this? It is actually a version of one of the most popular red and green or combat and alchemy guides, but with my own additions inside, such as runes and other different tweaks. Of course, I'm using Ironite, the best silver sword ever created in The Witcher 3. I don't think that's even a topic for discussion. Moving on, really big and a lot of news for Gwent, the standalone brand new version of Gwent, developed again by CD Projekt Red, is preparing to move out of closed beta and into open beta, or as they call it, public beta stage. This is going to happen on 24th of May. 2 days earlier, closed beta will close on 22nd, which is, by the way, let me confirm, tomorrow, Monday. So on 24th, we will see the brand new open beta launching with a ton of changes. Really, wow, so many changes. It's unbelievable. I've been following Gwent since, well, I've been playing Gwent since October, and I've been following the Gwent development since September, I believe, or August. This is by far the biggest change that I've seen coming to the game, and CD Projekt Red did a very detailed 90-minute long live stream on 17th of May. I believe that was Wednesday. They explained so many things, and I've done my best to compile absolutely all of the news and changes with a ton of screenshots from the live stream right here. So we've got overview of the rewards coming to players from closed beta. We've got the open beta general changes, developer video about the premium cards, and then many, if not all of the card changes. Those of the cards that they did not show on the live stream, I've provided links to other folks making screenshots of those cards, whether it's from PTR or from other places. But in this article, you will be able to find, if not screenshots, at least links to other websites such as Imager, to absolutely all of the cards with their current changes. Yep, there are still a few days until the release, and just like before, we expect CD Projekt Red to make even more changes before the full release. And at the bottom, just as usual, there is a video. This is the full recording as published on YouTube by CD Projekt Red. Followed by a Gwent closed beta state of the game survey results. This actually was published a couple of days ago on Reddit, and I provide you here with all of the results from this survey. Unfortunately, I was silly enough to miss it, so I didn't actually get to vote on this, but these are the results from the community. What the players like, what the players wanted, what the players received, what the players hated, and I have to agree with pretty much everything. Here down below, there are a couple of interesting things. Biggest frustrations, decks and cards. Below it, best future, deck and card. That's funny. Yep, indeed. It's a little bit confusing if you're not following the Gwent development closely. But hey, it's all normal. Some people like that, other people hate that. Coming to the last news about Gwent from this week's episode, I've just published my Gwent guide to all of the keywords on the card's descriptions as they were introduced with open beta. If you don't know, CD Projekt Red has been talking about this change for quite some time, and they finally did it with the release of open beta. Marked with white and bolded words will appear in the descriptions of each one of the cards in open beta, and these words are actually called now keywords. They have a specific meaning, and this helps the developers unify and simplify all of the descriptions. Instead of having to tell us in free-form text in the span of, 5-10 rows what the card does, they can rely on these keywords, and I've done my best to extract absolutely all of them based on the live stream from CDPR, as well as other live streams from good folks such as King Blacktooth and Mega Mogwai, folks that I follow on Twitch regularly, and I check out their streams whenever I can. You should do that too, they're really good. One news, but very important for Star Wars The Old Republic from this week, and this is a workaround from BioWare officially, how to fix the SWTOR crashing on Windows 10 Creators Update. If you are playing the game regularly after the Creators Update has been released, and if you have it, of course, pretty much everybody has it already, you might have noticed some issues, namely the game crashing. This is because of the update, and BioWare finally acknowledged it with this developer post right here from 16th of May, which I believe was Tuesday, not that it matters. Musco and the BioWare team suggests 3 workarounds, and I actually suggest you my own workaround. It has been proven that the game mode doesn't bring any benefits in-game on a modern high-end PC. I've seen many tests, as I say in the article, and I highly suggest you turn it off and don't bother with it. And I was able to confirm my own workaround thanks to a couple of friends. Howzat was the first one. Thank you, Luke. What you can do is just add one more possible solution. Leave the game in focus after you start it without touching anything on it for about half a minute or maybe up to a minute, depending on your PC and how quickly it loads up. Don't do anything and leave it for a few more seconds sitting like that, after which you will be able to do whatever you please. Since I've tried doing that, I've never had a crash. It might happen, God knows. SWTOR is not exactly in very good terms with Windows 10 because it's an old game based on an old engine with DirectX 9 and other things like that. But the important thing is that crashes did stop for me after I've started doing that. I was doing it unintentionally before and I just couldn't really confirm it for myself that it happens. Oh yes, it does. The last big news from the week is the 107 patch notes for Mass Effect Andromeda. Well, they're actually quite a few. Only a few, I meant to say, sorry. There are actually only a few notes because this is a hotfix. It's not really a patch. And BioWare sneaked in almost silently. Couple days later, I tried finding official list of the patch notes and the changes so I can link. It has been removed from the source that I linked here. I don't know why. The person who posted them officially, it's one of the people working for EA and for BioWare. They've edited the post and the patch notes are not present there anymore for whatever reason. And 2 days later, they still haven't been added to the official BioWare blog. I think they might be already there, but I just stopped checking. Yep, just a handful of fixes. The last one is specifically important for me because I was suffering for it in the days since 106. 106 was the big and really important patch for the game. It's also the first patch after its release. So 107 fixed the HUD issue where some large non-standard resolutions would have elements centered in the middle of the screen instead of going to the edges. And by large non-standard, they mean 1440p, which is today's kind of a standard resolution because most high-end PCs do actually benefit and feature 1440p screens or even 4Ks. Okay. That is it from me. I think I've taken enough of your time. Hopefully, guys, you haven't missed much of what you've heard here. But, well, that's the prime reason why I'm doing the weekly roundup, so you can catch up with all the important news that I care about and hopefully you care about. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If so, click the like button and help me out. To help me improve and expand, consider becoming my patron with a small monthly pledge.